We've got a crowd of friends who we went on the canal system every year for 10 years. And we're on a narrow boat there, I don't know quite where it is. We went various places, but we dressed for the occasion. Shorts because your legs can dry on a towel, rather than long trousers which took forever to dry. We went in all sorts of weather. We've been when it's been snowing, we've been when it's been so hot we've had to throw water on the deck before you can stand on it. Absolutely fantastic times. So many stories, it would take another 3 or 4 films to explain it all. Everybody had a turn at steering the boat. There was never a row between anybody, and that's 8 or 10 people on a 70-foot narrow boat. And when I say you live cheek by jowl, I mean you live cheek by jowl. The only thing that parts you from the next berth or bunk is a bit of 3/8 plywood. So you don't get closer living than that. Nobody does all the cooking, nobody does all the washing up. It's all taken in turns and just get on with it, and a thoroughly good time. The men have been chased out of the pub more than once to go and get their dinner. One of the times we were on the way back to the boatyard, we called at a pub and had the pub meal, and there were 3 builders who were rather taking the mickey out of us, and somehow it all turned into song, and we sang all sorts of songs between something like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the evening until 11:30, and the pub filled up, the car park filled up with singers, and a great time was had by all. Say no more, there's the boat, there's the people. Now you can see by that, that's quite a big cabin cruiser up on the Broads, which is a pretty safe place to take a boat. Not the boat tied up first, but the next one out, which you can just read Ron, is the Ronald Searle. It belongs to the London Sail Training Association, of which Mark has been 2 or 3 times and has got a certificate that he can take that size of boat out in the daylight. He can't do it in the dark, but he can do it in the daylight. Mm-hmm. I was lucky enough to get on it once for a week and thoroughly enjoyed it. If you like sailing, that's the sort of boat to get on. Great stuff. That would have been a wine estate in South Africa, naturally in the winelands. Yeah. So you can see it was built much on the Dutch style of things, mm-hmm. and the Dutch are very to the fore in South Africa. Very proud people, very eager to let you know that they reclaimed a lot of land around the Cape Town particularly. Mm-hmm. It's quite flat, and there must have been quite a cliff, in fact, before the Dutch got there. Mm-hmm. But it's a grand place. It really is a real grand place to be. You can smell it before you get to it. Mm-hmm. We were on one of these jaunts from Cape Town, and this was a Seal Island or something. We were kidded to get on this boat and go out and see all the seals. And well, the smell, the stench is unbelievable. And you go right up to the rocks, and the seals and things are swimming all around you, and it's a grand sight to see, but not to smell. Now there's the penguins. They're just along from the naval base at Princetown. Well, I certainly didn't expect to see that sort of bird in that sort of climate.
Yeah.
But there's literally hundreds of the things all squawking and making a row. This is on the Cape, a couple of ostriches. We understand, quite dangerous sort of birds. If they take a dislike to you, they can do you a great deal of damage, particularly with their wings and their feet. Mm-hmm. It's one of the wine stops. They build these things for goats to climb up. Quite why? I don't know. Something for a goat to do, I suppose. Needs no description from me at all. It's all there, isn't it?
Yeah.
And you can see the carvings, etc., of the elephants and the animals all up in the rock. It's quite a splendid place. It's called Sun City, and it's built in the heart of a volcano. And it's said that it was built in 18 months. I find it hard to believe because the whole thing moves, the ground all moves every 2 hours with smoke and what is supposed to be lava spouting from the rocks. Mm-hmm. There's a hotel which is all picked out in gold leaf. Huge, huge, huge casino with lots of hotels all around, so it's more of a gaming place than anything. Bear in mind that water is at a premium, but this place lacks nothing, absolutely nothing. You could spend many, many days there without getting bored, because right next door is a game park. Mm-hmm. So you could go game parking all day, in the casino all night, and if there's any time left you could find something to eat. But it really is a place I would recommend anybody go and have a look at. Now this is the bits in the back of the hotel. It's where the smoke and the dragons come and all sorts of things. It's very impressive. This is the balloon I went up in Kent. The trip was bought for me for my birthday and it was supposed to be an hour's trip, and instead I couldn't find anywhere to land, so we were up about a good hour and a half, and I had to come down eventually because it was almost dark. He piloted down between some high tensile cables, which was a little frightening, but he was good at what he did and still here to tell the tune. It's an exhilarating experience in as much that it's silent except when they burn the gas. And if you ever go, all you need to take is a hat. When they burn the gas, the heat comes down as well as goes up, and it has the effect of burning your head. We went, and I think most of the family came with us. Friends and neighbours all came. Oh, there was a whole crowd. We had quite a good time, quite a trip across the plains in Kent there. This is Tampa Bay. You take this boat first thing in the morning, and it's a gambling boat. So you get on and you get fed your breakfast, and then they cast off and get so many miles out to sea so that you can start gambling, because there's no gambling in Tampa. Joe's showing off his Cadillac. What he won't tell you is the back door wouldn't lock. It drank petrol like it was out of fashion, but we had a great time in it, going along the beach. The bottom one, Empress Cruise, again, this is a gambling boat. Cheap as chips, they feed you, cost you nothing. You gamble if you want, you don't gamble if you don't want, but they take you to see the dolphins and the whales, and so it's a good day. This is Busch Gardens. You take a boat round and there's crocodiles and all sorts of things. But you're okay, provided you get off the other end. This is on the yard where we stopped in a motel, I suppose you would call it. And this was a dock that goes out into like a canal. You can do your barbecuing and have a meal out there or have a drink, whatever. So it's very, very pleasant. But the ball, you actually go inside and they strap you in a car and run around in this car. Quite frightening at times because they turn all the lights out and all that sort of thing, but a smashing experience. All those candles, so what's them putting together? And they spare no expense in putting this stuff together. So that's the pool, and the accommodation is along either side of the pool, and the dock where you saw us sitting just now is that bit that's tacked on over the water. But look at the size of the boat there. That's a biggie. That's up in the Troodos. This is in the accommodation. That's up on the top of the Troodos Mountains. Later in the summer, you get snow up there, so you can ski on top of the mountains and sunbathe on the beach. So it's quite a place to. I'd like to live there. I don't know about holiday. I'd love to live there. For the boat again. It's me. I don't know who that is behind. The snorkeling two sisters again. And there's Ed getting in the water. Look at that, isn't that beautiful?
Amazing.
There we are, smoking, drinking. What a time. Look at that great big boat all to ourselves. Now this is a place along the road where the Greeks still go diving for sponges. And the whole place is Greek. The restaurants, the shops, the housing, everything is Greek. Evidently what happened when they migrated from Greece to America, this is where so many of them settled, because they could still keep up their old livelihood of diving for sponges, cypress gardens, fish. There's a bunny rabbits, her and I, and they smash it. Aren't they clever the way they do these? Very cleverly done. Inasmuch that the form is made and then flower pot rings are put on the form, and when they put the flower pots in, of course you've got the bird or the lion or tiger or whatever it is. And you around this Busch Gardens place, you have these young ladies which are in the crinolines, and they look absolutely smashing until they start to walk, and you see they've got these dirty, scruffy old trainers on. It rather takes the bite out of it. Now, there's the girls in their crinolines, and there's one pretty girl, bit about her feet. Now, this is a model railway, a huge thing. Absolutely huge. Yeah, it's certainly got to be American because it's going round the wrong way. Joan and Joe, Glad and I. Joe and Joan again. Trust Joe to be kissing a monkey just up his alleyway. Never know whether to get too near those pelicans or not. They don't seem very ferocious, but I didn't give it a try. That's Glad. That's, as you can see, Raffles, very famous hotel in Singapore. Now, Glad went to Singapore for a month because Alan and Edna were out there. Alan working, making boxes, so he tells me. And Linda had just had, or just not long had, the baby. That's Helen. Well, Helen is now 21, 22. Now again, that's Raffles. That's Madam sitting in the big chair. Now I understand they went to Raffles for a gin sling or something in the afternoon. It's a very famous sort of hotel, and you really are looking for bogey and those sort of people to walk up the stairs. Now that's a waxworks, and it depicts the Japanese signing the surrender of Singapore to the Allied forces. So it's quite a bit in Singapore's history. It's a cable car. If you look up, there's a big tower. If you look to the right and left of that tower, you'll see the cable cars. Now that took you out to an island, which they went to, and I understand that at night they had fireworks and the whole thing was illuminated. Quite a sight to see, I believe. There's Glad. I don't know whether that's on a boat or on the shore, but I expect they're waiting for something to eat or something to drink. That seems what they did. Right, now there's Linda with Glad. I'm not sure who the person is beside them. So it's all water and boats and bridges and quite a pleasant place. There's some sort of temple, I suppose. Very pleasant. There's Glad back home. Wouldn't it be nice? She's home again. That's, as we arrived at Disney, Paris, got off the train.
Yeah.
Was it magic?
Yeah.
If you didn't go, you wouldn't know what magic was. Absolute magic. And of course, that was the last time we went out, I think. Certainly the last time we went away, all together with Grandma. So it's something to keep and treasure, so that we can pass that on to people who are coming behind us. Don't look over your shoulder. Don't look over your shoulder, but there is someone coming up behind.